Hi, welcome back. In this video, we will talk about the Java NIO. The Java NIO API was introduced in JDK 1.4, and it's a non-blocking synchronous I/O model. That means one thread will handle multiple connections, and each as illustrated by this image. We only have one thread to handle the multiple connections, and each client connection or each connection is registered with the multiplexer, and once there is a read or write event, the thread pulls the multiplexer and finds there's a read or write event, the thread will handle it. So this image is a simple view of how the NIO works, or Java NIO works. Let's look at the key terms or key components of the Java NIO. We have three key components. The first is the buffer, and the second is the channel, and the third is the selector, or we can call the selector the multiplexer. The buffer is used to store the data, and its underlying layer or its implementation is array-like storage. And also for the channel, it bonds with the buffer, or channel owns a buffer. Its responsibility is it transmits the data in and out of its buffer. And as some of you might still remember that in the BIO, we used the input or output stream to write or read the data. But for the NIO, we use the buffer and channel to read and write the data. As to the selector, the server socket and the connection socket will register to the selector or multiplexer. Once we register with the selector, it has so it will create the selection key. The selection key will hold the channel and other information about the socket connection. The selector will pull the underlying system to see whether the registered selections has the events occurred that needs to be handled. Let's take a look at this image, which depicted how all these components work together. Let's start with the server. Server first. When we create the server socket channel first, we do this, and then we register our server socket channel with the multiplexer or with the selector. Now remember for the server socket channel, we register the OP accept event. That means it's for this registered selection key, multiplexer will only, we will only interested we will only be interested in the accept event. And after the step 2, our server is ready to for the request or for the connection. And once the client connect to our server, it will create a socket. This is the third step. It will create a socket. Then we'll register with our selector. And then that our server, the selector, will pull the OS IO module or our underlying operation system to see if the registered selection key for our connection has a read or write. If has a read event ready, the thread, the fourth step is the thread. The thread will try to use the buffer and channel to read and write the request, and to read the request and write the response. Hope this brief introduction will give you a big idea of how this component will works. And let's see them in action within. Let's use the code to show the whole process I just described. We will do that in the subsequent videos.